the OCG Fam Show. Today we're talking about doing slurry tests when your water has a high PPM and or high pH. Let's get into it. Hey there! Bob from Oregon, Wisconsin Gardener. Welcome to the OCG Fam Show to you, my YouTube buddies. What's going on? How you doing? A little scary out there, but I think we're gaining on it. I think we're making some progress. So, welcome to the OCG Fam Show. What's going on? Let me know in the comments. Speaking of the comments, question from the comments. Black phase had a question. You know, my daughter went through a black phase. One of my daughters, she was, 13, 12, 11, sweet little girl. Not that she's not sweet now, she's lovely. But she wore a lot of flower prints, had a little parasol, just bright colors, that kind of thing. And then she turned 14. Suddenly she had some docks, black pants, black shirt, hoodies, black earring kind of things, real dark ruby rose lipstick. And it was just a phase, I think. But that was like 15 years ago, and she's still doing it. So, I don't know. Anyway, Blackface had a question. He said, well, watch this. I'm going to show you what he said.
Black phase. Hey, Bob. I have a question. My water out of the faucet is 195 ppm with a 7.8 pH.
Iron.
When I do my slurry test, do I subtract 195 ppm from the ppm that I get from my slurry test to get an actual ppm in the soil?
Okay, so you heard the question, and we've covered this question a few times in the past. I had a little show about it this last summer, I think. But anyway, this was Scott answered this question again, and I thought it was particularly interesting how he answered it. It gave a little more detail. I think it's going to be useful to you. So watch the answer, and I'll talk to you after.
The hard part, I'm guessing you have iron in your water if you're at that pH and that ppm. If you have red toilets, then you've got some iron. I mean, 195, you don't necessarily, what I always do is I reference the number. I don't subtract the number because there'll be a chemical reaction when you're adding the two together.
Not unlike when you're feeding with that same water. It's
Exactly.
kind of part of the mix.
Yeah, because I can get 195 down by just hitting it with an acid or a base.
Yeah.
I mean, we can reduce those numbers. So I just make sure I reference it. So if you're at 195 and you add it in and your slurry comes back at 600, you're probably closer to like the 480 to 500. But I also know that you're,
Yeah.
But if it comes back at 210 and they're all yellow, then I know they're starving.
Okay.
Because you start at 195 and there's nothing for it to react in. So, but if you have a lot of stuff reacting, that number will vary because of the reaction of whatever elements are in the soil. Ideally, if you have water that's outside of that 100 parts per million, you might want to just get some spring or distilled or RO water to, not
For your
RO,
test.
but for just slurring.
Yeah.
It wouldn't hurt to just have a bottle of like spring water from the store with a starting number. But if you can get that a little bit lower.
So better to go get some water than to use that water.
It's just not giving you the pure accuracy,
number,
but
yeah.
I mean, it's still going to give you a reference. I mean, if you know that,
Yeah.
if it's coming out at 215 and they're all yellow,
Yeah.
then you know they're starving. But if it comes in at 900, you know you're hot.
So you got a consistent number that you can match up to a happy plant.
Yeah.
And if it starts dropping or raising, then we know what's going on.
And then have your own chart that you're grafting or referencing back to. The downfall of the slurry test is that it's not scientific on every farm because water quality is totally different from city to city, state to state. So there's no like perfect do it at 0 parts per million because even then you're still not getting that ion exchange because there's no ionic value to RO water. I mean, you've killed the water, so it's not reacting to the shit in the soil. So to me, I'm still using the slurries as a base reference. I know what my water reference start is, and I know over time that if my plants are doing this and my numbers are doing this, I can kind of match up. This is what my plants look like when I have a slurry number that does this.
Okay, what do you think of that? Was that helpful? Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if you have other questions regarding this or any other topics involving Nectar or, just anything at all. I love you. We'll talk again tomorrow. The OCG Fam Show. It's pretty good. It happens every day. It's the OCG Fam Show. See you tomorrow.